So in today's video, we're putting our focus and our attention on that trail arm, such an important thing to work at and get correct in your golf swing if you want to hit better golf shots and lower your scores. So as you can imagine, there's lots of differences between the best golfers in the world and the handicap golfers, the recreational golfers, and there's lots of traits and trends that we see which really make the difference in terms of their ability and ultimately their scores. But in this particular video, we're going to pull out the trail arm because for me this is one of the biggest differences. And if we were to look at a sort of golfer who really struggles with ball striking, with direction, with speed and power and all those kind of things, very, very often we can see that in the trail arm and how it moves. Contrary to that, if we look at the best players in the world, they very often have a fantastic trail arm movement. Even if their golf swing looks a little bit weird and wonderful, how this moves is really, really important. So the first thing we're going to do in this video is we're going to kind of help you understand and appreciate where this needs to be as you approach the golf ball kind of through impact. We're going to give you a little drill with a golf ball with no club, and then we're going to progress to a club. And if you can start to train and work on your trail arm, so many good things are going to happen in your golf swing, and we'll kind of cover that as we go through. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got a tee set in the ground here. I'm just going to take my normal posture, and I'm just going to let my right arm, for me, which is my trail arm, just hang fairly naturally. Now you'll notice that the palm of the hand tends to face kind of inwards towards my left side a little bit, and you can see just about the inside of my elbow. Now, when this arm is in its natural position, unfortunately, this is nowhere near where it needs to be as we approach impact. So how do we find that position? Well, I want you to follow these steps. Take this trail arm and rotate all of it so the inside of the arm and the palm of your hand face away from you. In this case, it's back towards that camera. And what you'll notice when I do that is that the elbow moves closer to the center line of my body, so the kind of zip on my top if I had one. So as I do that, you'll see the elbow move towards the center line of my body. Now, keeping the elbow in this position, you'll notice that I have got a small amount of bend in that arm. I want to rotate the palm to face the target. And I now want to feel like I push the heel of my hand forwards so that the palm faces a little bit more down towards the ground. This would be very, very close to where we'd like to see that trail arm at impact. The elbow has moved a little bit more towards the center line of my body. The inside of the elbow is pointing away from me. The palm of my hand is facing down, and that puts some bend in that trail wrist. If I was to imagine I've got a golf club and my left hand is on, this would be the trail arm position that we would like. So those are the steps for you to initially just kind of feel and sense what that's like. And many of you will do that drill and potentially think to yourself, I've never really felt that before, or I never really understood that the trail arm needed to be in that position. What we tend to see quite commonly, and unfortunately these are the golfers, and you may well be one of these, who do struggle with strike and distance and direction and consistency. When they get towards impact, their trail arm is too close to being in this very, very natural position. If I just kind of relax my arm, it's not moved a huge amount. Whereas what we're looking for is to achieve this trail arm position, which is what we've just spoken about with all those checkpoints in place. So here's the first little drill I want you to do. You're going to take a golf ball. Set yourself up around a tee. That tee is kind of in the middle of my heels. And if I just hold that ball in my trail hand and just in my fingers, this is my arm in its natural position. Now I want to try and make a little rotation. And my goal here is to throw the ball and bounce it just in front of that tee. Now from here, I don't really feel like I can do that. If I was to throw the ball, I would feel like I'm going to throw it kind of up over my lead shoulder. So what I need to try and do is I need to make a little rotation back. And then I need to make some movements which would allow me to get the sensation that I can throw and bounce that ball on the ground in front of the tee. And just look what that's done to my trail arm. The other thing it's done there, which is hopefully going to happen in your case when you do this, is that the body is going to start to move in a certain way to accommodate that trail arm movement. From here, I really feel now that I could start to straighten that arm and throw that ball down in front of the tee. So let me show you what that would look like. Start in this very natural position. Arm hangs, as we can see it here, little backswing back, and then as we go through, we kind of bounce the ball in front of the tee. And straight away, what it's going to do is it's going to get you to appreciate how we go and take this arm from its natural condition towards this, we're going to call it impact condition where there are unfortunately lots of differences that many golfers don't find themselves in. So then how do we take that through to a golf shot? Well, the next phase would be to try and do that with a ball and with a club, but we have to appreciate what this would do to the ball flight. If I do this correctly as a drill, as an exercise, I should be getting this ball flight out there incredibly low. Even though I've got a 7-iron here, which is obviously got a fair bit of loft, we're looking for these balls to fly very low and over a short distance. So here's the little exercise I want you to do. You're going to take an address, you're going to make a little backswing, and you're going to hit a shot over a short distance, trying to achieve that impact with that trail arm that we've just spoken about. We're looking to continue that trail arm position through to here. Now what happens now is I'm going to rotate back towards the golf ball, and I'm going to tip myself back over into setup, and just notice where my trail arm is. I have those checkpoints that we went through right at the start of the video. What you may well find is that when you hit this ball over a short distance, you rotate back to the ball, tip yourself down, and we can see that very, very different trail arm position that is a lot closer to what we were saying was that natural condition. So the little exercise here is to try and create an impact as we want it, hold that trail arm position as we go through, and then we check it by rotating back and dropping it down. Not easy. The slower you go, the easier it's going to be. So let's go ahead and do one. I've got a 7-iron, as I said, and this ball is not going to go particularly far. I'm actually just going to preset a little bit of weight left as well, just to help me with contact as I do this little exercise. You saw that really super low ball flight. I've held my finish. So as I rotate back and drop myself down, there you can see my trail arm is exactly as I want it to be. Elbows move towards my center line, little bit of angle in that trail wrist, palm is facing more down towards the ground. Like I said, for many of you, that will be incredibly difficult. And if you do find it difficult, then unfortunately, that's just the confirmation that you need to suggest that this is something you need to work on. If you find this incredibly easy, you probably don't need to do this drill because you probably do that well in your golf swing anyway. So lots of times I see golfers saying things like, that's a difficult drill to do, but that kind of should give you the confirmation this is what you should be working on. So that's a great little way for you to take that through to your golf swing. Now, just a little note here. When we make a golf swing at full speed, as you can imagine, there's more force is being applied to the golf club, to the body, club head has got more speed, and everything's happening much quicker. We don't generally see the golfers have the ability to hold this position all the way through to the follow through. So this little checkpoint here is only going to be visible in the drill. When we make a full swing, yes, we're trying to achieve this impact, but just after impact, that club is going to release through, right through to finish. So the little exercise where the ball's going 30, 40 yards is really key. Any longer than that, and it's going to be incredibly difficult for you to hold that finished position. Ultimately, that little drill is going to give you the sensations and the ideas that you want, and then you can go ahead and try and put that through into a golf shot, but I'm still trying to achieve that impact trail arm position. Strike was good, flight was good, it's done exactly where I'm aiming. And the conditions that I created at impact with that trail arm allowed me to strike the ground after the ball, control the loft on the golf club, which gives me distance and gives me the right flight. It enables me to hit higher in the club face, which gives me more ball speed. Everything just gets better when we work on that trail arm position. So there's 3 stages to that drill, sorry, 4 stages. Number 1 is understand where that trail arm should be. Number 2 is try and create that with a ball. Number 3 is to try and do that with a golf club over a short distance. And then the final step is to try and do that at speed with a golf club, which is for many of you going to be, a couple of weeks down the line or maybe a month down the line. I'd like you to start off going through that process. If you can train this trail arm, trust me, lots of good things can happen and your golf game will thank you for it, and you will enjoy your time on the course a lot more because the shots just feel a lot more solid. Thanks for watching. Usual stuff is down below. You've got the comments box down there. Would love you to leave me a comment on this video. Let me know what you thought. What did you like? Drills that you've used, problems that you have in your golf game, all that kind of thing. I can hopefully help you. A like button if you did like the video, and please subscribe if you're not. It is absolutely free and it just means you won't miss any of the content. Thank you again for watching.